Good morning.
Good morning.
I was trying to say good morning, Vietnam. I just wanted to say thank you to all of you wonderful, beautiful people who are here today. It's just good to see family. I think that's what this is all about, family. I've been asked to start with an opening prayer. So if you have a hat on, could you uncover, as we say in the Marine Corps? And we're just going to, I was thinking about a prayer to say, but I think what I'd like to do is I'd like to ask you to pray with me together, a prayer that is a universal prayer and everybody knows it. It was the prayer that Jesus gave his apostles, gave the multitude when they asked, how do you pray? And he said, this is how you pray, and that's the Lord's Prayer, the Our Father. I don't want to be alone in doing this, so I'd like you to ask you to join me, if you would. So bow your heads. And we know that Jesus is here because he says whenever 2 or 3 are gathered in his name, he's here. So let's start. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, now and forever. Amen. Jamie? Jamie? There you go, Jamie.
She's going to sit here. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Jamie.
Let me just take one deep breath. Thank you, everyone, for being here. This is wacky. We gather today in honor of the mentally ill, and that's why we're here. I'm so glad that Danny said the Lord's Prayer, because it teaches us the importance of empathy, and it teaches us what compassion is. And sometimes compassion looks like forgiveness, and mental health and forgiveness kind of go hand in hand. People don't necessarily ask to be mentally ill. People's actions don't warrant behavior that is okay in society, which sometimes people wind up getting arrested for their behavior because of mental illness. And I am so shaky, but I'm going to try to get through this.
You're among friends, Jamie. You're among friends.
What I was trying to say is how very important our compassion is for the mentally ill. And the reason why it hits me hard in my heart, and Lisa, is because I struggled with mental health my whole life. And it's been an overcoming obstacle, but it's a challenge, and it's a good challenge. And we can take our struggles and other people's struggles and have compassion for them. This is the first time that I ever spoke in public, so I don't even think that it's right, but because Lisa asked me to do it, I'm going to. And I'll thank her one day.
But not today.
But not. But anyway, so forgiveness. I can't even put a value on forgiveness, on the Lord's forgiveness. So why would he ask us to forgive other people? And why do we ask the Lord to forgive us? He could have liked us and still forgiven us. I mean, he loves us, but he could have liked us and still forgiven us. Do you know how important it is for us to be forgiving? And to ask the Lord to forgive us for our shortnesses and our discomforts and our shortcomings and our wrongful doings. Well, it is so important, and it has so much value to not only to ask the Lord for forgiveness for our shortcomings and our sins, but to forgive other people for theirs. And sometimes it does come in the form of mental health issues. And the fact that Colonel Wells is willing, and Dr. Pete Early has the ability and the talent to put in words and to implement ways to help people who are in trouble, who don't have the voice to speak for themselves. That's why this is important for me, and that's why I'm standing here, shivering and shaking and looking like a whatever.
Looking great.
Beautiful, yes.
Lisa that the Lord has put in Lisa to get everybody to do all this today. And thank you for coming. I want to tell you a little something about Lisa. Lisa Taliaferro, dedication to ensuring that individuals living with mental illness receives proper care instead of being criminalized is commendable. Her personal experience with her son's involvement in the justice system while dealing with mental illness has further motivated her advocacy and support efforts. As a result, she founded Patients Not Prisoners in Florida to continue her mission of advocating, educating, and supporting this cause. In order to ensure that efforts are successful, Lisa developed this organization using the Measure Care model as an evaluation tool. Lisa, along with concerned members of community, met for 14 weeks to discuss mental health and the judicial system. The Measure Care model focuses on creating sustainable change with communities by engaging community members and providing them with resources so they can advocate for themselves. Lisa's educational background in business organizational management from Bethel College has provided her with a strong foundation of skills necessary for establishing and running a nonprofit organization. Lisa retired from a 30-year career in banking and investment management. She managed the trading department for an international money manager in San Diego, California for 23 years. Took an 8-year sabbatical to care for her son, then went on to manage a couple of bank financial centers. During her career, in finance, Lisa owned 2 women's fitness franchises for over 10 years. She also authored 2 books entitled, she only put 1 down. I wasn't going to tell you, but Bargain Beaters, a guide to saving money. And the other one, she might tell us, but I don't know, maybe she won't. Her diverse experience and expertise have undoubtedly contributed to her ability to navigate the challenges of running Patients Not Critters effectively. Did I say critters? Effectively. Now retired, Lisa enjoys participating in church activities, which, by the way, all these volunteers are from the Bible group, and they are wonderful, lovely ladies. And Bible study, going on cruises with her husband of 43 years. and spending quality time with her adult children and grandchildren. Patients Not Prisoners is a direct result of Lisa's personal experiences with her unwavering advocacy for her sons and the need for restorative treatment for the mentally ill. She is truly a mom on a mission and aims to bring about systemic change to prioritize compassionate care for individuals facing mental illness. Thank you, Lisa, and please give a warm welcome to Lisa.
Oh my goodness, I just want to give another warm welcome. I tell you, God put us together, and I've been pushing her limits. I don't know what's going to happen to me after this event. So hopefully I'm still around after this event. But thank you so much, Jamie. I appreciate it. I wanted to thank everyone here for being here. Thank you so much for coming. I really, really appreciate everyone that showed up and all of your participation and all of your support. For those that don't know, I should probably speak in here, right? Okay. I forgot, sorry. For those of you that don't know, I'm just gonna quickly tell you my story. I've said it over and over again, and I apologize if you heard it before. But my husband and I, we've been married for 43 years, and we actually, out of that marriage, we've birthed 5 adult children. And out of those 5 children, 3 of them are sons. And with our 3 sons, we, I know I do the same thing all the time. Out of the union, we've had 3 sons, and out of that, of our 3 sons, we say that we hit the trifecta. And the way that the reason why we've come to that, which wasn't an easy coming to, it really wasn't, because we thought we were cursed. It's like, why is it that we have 3 sons that experience mental illness? I won't go into all of the details, but a lot of my conversation you'll actually hear me speaking about my youngest son, who is the most severe of all, and his name is Charlie. So that's one you'll hear me speak the most about. But we actually had very, very high hopes for Charles. Charles was the last of all of the children. He's the baby. He came home one day after going to the Army and Navy Academy. He graduated with a 4.2 GPA. He received 8 full-paid scholarships to 8 different universities. He came home one day and he said, "Mom, something's not right with my brain." He said, "Mom, it's dark." And as I tell you this story, I remember where I was. I can tell you what the weather was like. I can tell you what cars were around us as we were outside. It's just that real. So fast forward, we ended up taking him to doctors and just trying to figure out what was going on. I had no idea about schizophrenia, no idea, until the doctors came back conclusively and said, "I'm sorry, your son is showing the first signs of schizophrenia. You might want to keep him close to home." He actually wanted to go to a military university because his whole goal was to follow in the footsteps of his father, his grandfather, and aunties and uncles that served our country, and that was his goal. So what he did was that we decided to keep him close to home. At that point, it was California State University in San Marcos for their Naval Officers Program. Charles went through that program on a scholarship, and he lasted 6 months. In that 6th month, that's when he actually ended up really experiencing the signs of schizophrenia that took him down a really deep, dark hole. 52 plus hospitalizations later, multiple upon multiple traumatic episodes in our household, suicide attempts, homelessness, jail time, everything that goes along with this disease is what Charles experienced, quite different from that Army, from the Army Navy Academy graduate, quite different. So, long story short, I met up with one of Charlie's episodes. I met up with Colonel Wells, that's sitting here in the front row, and he was actually jailed in his jail for a misdemeanor offense. And we were able to build an alliance out of that incarceration that actually helped us to both understand that me as a concerned parent and a concerned citizen, and Colonel Wells, you know, as law enforcement, and the officers that are actually been thrown into this role as mental health officers. What happened is that we realized that we had a mutual goal of make things better. And that's when we went through the care model that Jamie told you about. And from that care model, Patients Not Prisoners was born. So what I want to do right now, I just want to make sure I'm on time. Am I on time, Malachi? I'm on time? Okay, so make sure. So what I'd like to do right now is I really want to introduce to you about Mr. Pete Early, all right? Now, before I actually go through his bio and introduce him to you, he is going to be our keynote speaker today. And I have to tell you, I have been reading his book entitled Crazy. This is the book right here. And if you look in the book, it's got highlights, underlines, and it's got all kinds of things. I read this, it took me about a year to read it, literally, because everything that I read, I had to stop and write and think and ponder. And I would hope that each and every one of you will walk away with one of Pete's books today. Pete has actually donated his books to Patients Not Prisoners today, and your donation will actually go directly to Patients Not Prisoners. I read this book, and as I'm getting to the end of this book, I'm laying in my bed, and this voice from heaven says, "Call Pete Early." Now, call Pete Early. No, God, please don't make me do this. And I fought it. I fought it.
This out of order. I must be.
Oh, I did something. Malachi, I'm sorry. What did I do? I'm sorry.
Thank you so much for the
Get
opportunity
rid
to
of
be
it.
here.
See what happens when God says something? I think I touched that. Yeah, okay. So this was so important to me that I actually wrote down the dates. On January the 8th, 2023 is when Lisa wrestled with God. On January the 9th is when Lisa realized she was losing that fight. And she contacted Pete Early. On January the 13th, Pete Early called me back. And I literally fell out of my chair. You don't know what happened on the other side. I literally fell out of my chair because I didn't know that this was actually going to happen. And when you hear his bio, you'll see why. On January the 14th, we had a discussion, and I wanted Pete to come and speak to my community. And he did accept. And on January the 18th, 2023, Colonel Wells and Pete Early got together and they made it happen.